All right, we've been getting a lot of questions about the laptop I've been using to demonstrate our security camera software. This is the Dell Latitude XFR e6400. This laptop has a Core 2 Duo-based processor running at typically about 2.66 gigahertz is their configuration. This one came with a 128 gigabyte solid-state hard drive and a touchscreen. You should take of note that the touchscreen isn't supported natively in Windows 8. I mean, the touch will work, but you won't be able to do the scrolling or anything like that. It just emulates mouse input. Maybe there'll be a driver update for it. Shouldn't be using Windows 8 anyway. I put it on this laptop just so we could test compatibility with Windows 8 for some of our security products, but overall I think Windows 8 is pretty much junk. Hopefully they make Windows 9 better. A couple things to note about the laptop. I mean, this thing is just a fucking tank. The only things we've had problems with is these little covers here. They're kind of flimsy. You can kind of see that it's got a little crack in it there. Same for the power connector. That's a modem connector, I guess. You know, in the military, you might be in some third world country and have to, I don't know, upload some intelligence via telephone line. Battery life is okay. Comes with a 6-cell battery. Unfortunately, you can't get an extended one because you got this cover here. With Windows 8, actually, that's one way Windows 8 shines is the battery life is okay. We get about, I'd say 3.5 hours to 4 hours with the brightness at kind of its 50% setting. That's another reason that we really like the XFR laptop, is that you will notice the screen on this thing is just super freaking bright. So if you're demonstrating security camera equipment, it's really important that you have a nice bright image to kind of show it off. We used to do demonstrations on like a Latitude D630, for instance, which is another excellent laptop, but the screen just does not give the camera images justice. The laptop does have a docking station port replicator, which is kind of nice if you're going to be mounting it in a vehicle, or if you want to, set it up so when you get back to your office, you just dock it and you get dual head. As far as using it for productivity and creating content, it's okay. The keyboard's typable. It kind of makes a weird sound when you type on it, but it's substantial keyboard. The cooling system is actually isolated from the rest of the laptop, so this is a completely isolated chamber here where it's got copper tubing that goes to the GPU and the CPU to cool it off. And one thing that kind of helps with is the fan can get wet, and it's really interesting how the cooling system works. The fan will run probably about every minute to 2 minutes, or maybe even 30 seconds, depending on how it's loaded. But what it does is it spins up really fast and tries to get as much heat out, and then stops the fan, because if you're using it in a torrential rainstorm, you don't want a constant flow of water going through. You just kind of want to run it for maybe 5 seconds, get as much heat out as you can, and then not have to drag so much liquid through the laptop. Does have external ports for if you're going to be doing like 3G, 4G access, external antenna. That's if you're really, really hardcore. But for most consumers, they're going to be using the internal Wi-Fi or like a 4G card. This is where the solid-state hard drive goes. It's also dampened by rubber mounts and things of that nature. eSATA, really cool. We've done data recoveries out in the field on DVRs with this. And it seems to identify hard drives that are pretty damaged, which is another reason we kind of like using this. Back here you got display port adapter, Ethernet connection, you got your wireless switches and a few more USB ports in here, you got your XBay, you got your nice and skinny little DVD burner, which is kind of cool. There's a little SIM card slot, PCMCIA, and FireWire. Again, I've been throwing this thing around job sites and beating the crap out of it for close to a year now, and we haven't had any issues show up with it. So, it's got an older CPU in it, but if you look at the performance and the benchmarks, and the real world performance of this thing is pretty awesome. So anyway, it's kind of a recommended product. There's a lot of tough books out there, but Dell really seems to, put the extra effort into the engineering, and I mean, it just looks badass. You walk into somebody's place with this and you'd be like, holy shit, you must do some badass shit.